All right. So, what's your background again? You're in school. We need to figure out what courses you
Yeah,
want to. Yeah, let's talk about what we want to do with this session. We have 45 minutes to like iron out everything, answer all your questions. I know you had a bunch, so might as well just do it in one
yeah,
shot.
sure.
Just give me
I'll give you
context,
the
and you could
rundown.
anonymize it and stuff too. Like we could just talk in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So, I'm currently a high school senior and I'm committed to college next year. And I'm basically just trying to figure out how should I I mean, obviously college will be very different because I'm living on campus and I'm trying to figure out how can I optimize my day to make sure I'm like doing all my work and like which courses are relevant and like which ones will help me like with jobs and like which ones will like I don't know. I'm just like I have like a lot of questions. I'm
Yeah.
also a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah. No. No.
but
This is perfect. Perfect. So you're committed to college.
yep.
Is it like a target school or non-target school? Because that also will inform what we need to do here.
I mean, I'm pretty low income, and I got a full ride to Northeastern, so I'm
Wow.
committed there.
Nice.
So
Nice. And it's a pretty
yeah,
good.
I
How's
would have
the comp sci program there? Or what did you get into?
undergrad. I got into CS and math double major.
CS and
Yeah,
math.
I think they're yeah. I don't know like exactly like how accurate the ratings are, but I saw it was like it wasn't terrible for CS.
Okay, CS and math double major. Is it a party school or not? Because if you're living on campus, it's gonna affect your study plan.
Um,
Do you
I mean,
party?
I've heard like there's parties on the weekends. Yeah, I go out sometimes.
All right. Okay. Okay. So it's a party school. Like if you went to USC, you'll be partying like crazy. You might not even have your
Yeah, yeah,
weekends
no,
to even study. Um,
right.
Not really, but okay. What's kind of your goals? Because I mean, you're still a high school senior. Why did you even want to take CS in math?
Um, well, I mean, I live in Silicon Valley, so hearing like from my friends and my dad, like obviously like CS is like a very lucrative major, but also yeah, I've been interested in video games. Like it's obviously like or it's like stopped a little recently, but I still like very much enjoy computer science. I've taken AP computer science, like the Java one at school, and then I've also taken a DSA course in my school, and so I know like a little bit about CS and I've really enjoyed it, so I'm definitely looking to take a few more classes in college and stuff.
Okay, you've done leak code questions.
Not really. I mean, honestly, I've done I wanted to start doing leak code, but I tried a few problems and they were like a little difficult for me to understand.
I see.
I mean, the homework that I've done for my DSA course is usually we learn like an algorithm or like a data structure in class, and then we implement it using different like things that we've already done before. And so like solving like these LeetCode problems was like definitely like a step in like a different direction. It was a little hard for me to grasp it.
I see. Okay, let's see. You're taking at AP computer science, so you have some fundamentals. You know, simple while loops for like syntax.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I only know this in Java, and I feel like a lot of people like use Python or like C++ plus plus or some sort of other language. So I'm also debating whether or not I should learn a different language.
I think you should definitely learn Python for your programming interviews. I've just seen if you're gonna switch early and before you start leak
Hmm.
coding, learn Python. Python is, I mean, all machine learning languages. Like if you want to get into ML, it's
Yeah, I was
Python.
definitely thinking.
Like every company's requires some Python knowledge. I feel, especially if you want to do
Mm-hmm.
like AI. Even hedge funds, if they're not using C++, they're using Python. Every company
Okay.
uses Python to some capacity now. I don't know any company that doesn't because of AI. So yeah,
All right, I see.
and like if you're gonna do coding interviews, I've seen just really good engineers fail their interview because they had to use Java and they just get slowed down. So I would just make sure to use Python like right off the bat. Learn Python.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So,
Yeah. What's your
I mean,
questions?
the thing. Well, yeah, because I obviously am interested in CS, but I also really, really like math a lot, and I
Mm.
was debating like whether or not I should try and get like some sort of like get in like invested in quant or something like that. But I heard it's like very hard to get into, and also I don't necessarily go to like a target school for quant, so I didn't know if it was worth it to sort of shoot for it or if I should just try and stick with CS.
I think it's possible to shoot for it. Well, with quants, first off, you just need to make sure you pretty much have a 4.0 GPA to land the interview.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have you have the CS and math background, I think you'll be able to land interviews. Like I landed interviews at a quant before, and so have my friends. So it's possible to land the interview. It's more about just passing the interview. So if it's an option you want
Okay.
to go, it's doable. I know people who worked in quant, and usually they're good at math. Like the ones who got in,
Yeah.
they're pretty good at math or have done math
Yeah.
competitions.
Yeah, I haven't actually had the opportunity to do any math competitions, but I've been like studying a lot just by myself recently, and I've really been enjoying it.
Like, what do you study when you're studying math?
Uh, like I've been reading like textbooks. So I read like a linear algebra one a month
Wow,
back, and now I'm reading like a differential equations one right now.
wow.
I'm taking a discrete math course at community college over the summer just because it's required to like for CS obviously, and it's also required for math because you need to know how to like formulate proofs.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've talked to a lot of my friends about it, and because like obviously I'm a senior and my friends are seniors, and they're just like they don't really like do that much. And I was honestly confused because I was like, oh, if you're going to college, like why would you not try and make use of all of the resources and like take difficult classes? And then I don't know, it was a little interesting.
Yeah, or what? They're not using what much? Like they said, they're not using math
Like,
much. They're not.
they're- well, they're not like I feel like when you go to like college, like shouldn't like the idea should obviously like oh have fun and try new things like obviously, but
Yeah,
like I've also been thinking like I kind of want to take like difficult grad classes just to like learn a lot as well so I can be prepared for like these sort of interviews.
don't. Yeah, for sure. I would say what you should do is literally take if you know you're interested in math and comp sci and you're only interested in math and comp sci. There's no point in like taking options that you know that you're not interested in. Like
Yeah.
when I took my degree, I think I took like 26 comp sci classes and I like
Mm-hmm.
four math or five math. Like most of my degree was straight just comp sci math classes. Or like
Yeah.
I didn't take any options. I took the minimum like three or four options. So
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it. I liked school because I liked all the classes I was taking. So I think what you should do is try to make it so that you try to have your schedule set up so that you can take as many of the advanced courses as you can. And in order to do that, you need to make sure you hit the prerequisites as fast as you can. Because for the higher level courses, right, they usually require some prerequisites. Maybe databases requires Java,
Yeah.
like the first two comp sci classes, right? And
Mm-hmm.
maybe a third one. So what I do in the first one in 1 year, like your freshman year, literally try to look for all the courses that are prerequisites to those advanced courses and try to get them done as fast as you can. Like do not stretch
Right.
them out. That way it frees up your last 2 years for taking all of the advanced courses. That make sense?
Yeah. I agree. No, I understand. I think with their math department too, they're actually very relaxed with like being able to skip courses. So as long as you like ask them and say like, "Hey, I've already taken this course before," and like even if it's not at a community college, but like just saying like, "I've taken this course before," they're usually fine with just skipping it. So I think this summer I'm just going to spend a lot of time probably learning Leet code as well as just like taking math courses so I can accelerate a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, like Farzan is saying, just taking the hard rigorous classes. I think if you want to be really good, you want to be the best engineer you can be, you need to challenge
Right.
yourself. Take if you can already do a DSA course, you already studied, you're good at it. Take the more
Yeah.
advanced one. Take distributed algorithms or something. Take even more advanced algorithms too. Just push it to
Yeah.
the maximum that you can get it. I mean, there's a trade off here, right? Because you also need to trade off like keeping a high GPA in order to get the job that you want because GPA does play a factor if you're trying to get into quant.
Right.
But in the long run, if you need to balance having a high GPA. But if you think if you feel capable that you can take all these hard classes, still get good marks, and take all the hardest courses you can possibly take, I would push myself all the way to the limit
Uh-huh.
there. I feel like you're in
Right.
that state, like you're already reading differential textbooks.
Oh yeah, yeah, I am.
So yeah, I would say yeah, take all the prereqs and yeah, push yourself to take all the advanced rigorous classes.
Hmm. Okay.
I mean, cause
Wait, and
okay, an
oh,
option, right? An option is you can pay to take an option for $600, some random option, or you could pay to take some advanced algorithm class for $600. They both cost $600, but one is literally gonna help you get a job at Fang, and one really won't.
right.
So what's it called? I mean, like you get way more value out that $600.
Yeah, absolutely.
So social
Um,
developers
I had
saying yes, social developers saying the same things. Like, unfortunately, what he's saying is true. I did not take anything above Cal 2. I think he's talking about Cal because it's hard as is. Now he's considering getting a master's in mathematics. Yeah. I think just push yourself. Obviously, don't obviously balance. You know yourself better. Don't push yourself to the edge where you hate your life, you hate computer science, everything. Right? It's all about just
right.
challenging yourself a little bit harder each time. So when chess masters are getting good, they're not playing grandmasters right away. They're playing someone that's slightly better than them. So you know where you're at and just adjust yourself, but just make sure that you're just not taking courses that you know you're easily gonna get A in.
Right. Yeah. I had a pretty general question about CS, I guess. Like in general, like I feel like on resumes, like obviously you include like or you don't have to, but like you can include your grades, your relevant coursework, you know. But there's also like the whole projects aspect, and I was just wondering if you could explain that a little more. Like what makes like a project and like what are some good ideas? Because I haven't done any yet.
Yeah. Well, projects is the way you build your portfolio, right? Okay, pretend you're an artist and I want to buy painting off you. You could say all of the paintings, like what skills you know, right? Like, okay, I know how to use a pen. I know how to use a canvas. You could say all the different
Right.
things you know, but if I don't see your artwork, what it actually looks like, I can't make a real judge on you there. That's at that point,
Right.
right? So that's exactly what it is with computer science. You can say, "Oh, I've took these classes. I've worked these companies. I did X, Y, and Z." But first off, when you work at companies, you can't really publish that work, so they can't really see
Hmm.
that. And if you're a new grad or you're just in school, you don't have work experience. So you need to show people your work and prove that you've done stuff. So that's where a project comes in hand. Usually you build a project, you'll put it up on GitHub, you'll have a link to it, and people could literally look at your code and see how you write the code. They could explore the repository and see exactly everything you did there. And yeah, they
Hmm.
get to understand like how you write code, and I don't know, even people don't really even do projects, honestly. So if you
Really?
do projects, you'll be ahead of at least 60 or 70% of people. A lot of people want to do projects, but they can't get themselves up to do it. Honestly, it's not that easy to just go up and do projects in your own time.
No, yeah, that's what I was doing too. Because for my data structures class, like we have a final and like we have to write a project, and he's like trying to teach us. The teacher's trying to teach us like how to make a website. So he just taught us how to do like front end in HTML, and now he's teaching us the back end in like Node Express JS, I think. But like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, how do you like choose like what type of like project you want to make? And I
Yeah.
guess like since I'm trying to do quant, would I do something like relating to like stocks or like yeah, the stock market as a whole? Would that like help
Yeah.
me stand out?
So, yeah, I never really did much on quant, but what I would do
Hmm.
there is I mean, you would have the way. So think about projects. When you're doing projects, you can do projects in two ways, right? You can figure out projects that are going to help my resume, and definitely do those as well. So when I'm first starting out, I'll be like, okay, I want to apply for full stack engineering roles. What are some projects that I can do to help me land software full stack roles? What okay, then I work backwards from there. Okay, if I want to get a job as a full stack engineer at Meta, what do I need to learn? Probably React, that they're using React. Let me build a React application. Let me
Okay.
build a simple React application, and then also just make it complicated. Make it more than just a front end. Make it talk to a back end. Make it talk to a database. Deploy your code, right? Now,
Okay.
now you pretty much know how everything works end to end. You know how a website works end to end. You have a front end, you deploy the front end. You have a back end that's deployed as well. Front end is talking to the back end, making API calls. Is deployed on something like AWS. That's you kind of know everything from end to end there, and you understand that. That's really employable. Hiring someone who knows the life cycle of a website is very employable because pretty much everything is a website these days. Facebook, Instagram, like
Yeah.
all these things are websites or applications that are on the web, right? In some cases, you might
Yeah.
have to even ChatGPT. There's a like you need to understand how ChatGPT fully works. You need to understand how the front end is talking to the back end, and there's obviously the models and stuff underneath. But I think when you're first starting your degree, you need to build. You need to like when you're first getting into comp sci, you need to focus on breadth over depth. You need to
Hmm.
understand how software is built from end to end and kind of like be able to visualize that. And then if you want to focus on a specific part, then you could focus in on that specific part.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of went on a tangent. Did I answer your question there?
Yeah. No, I understand.
So okay, actually, let me get back to it. So, okay, so pretend I was working on full stack. When I was in looking for jobs, I was looking for quant roles. I was looking for computer vision roles, and I was looking for just like regular software roles. So for the regular software roles, my projects were full stack projects, like a portfolio website, and then some other websites that I built in school, and all of them were full stack, front end, back end, deployed on AWS. Those are my general projects I put for when I'm applying for full stack roles. For my computer vision roles, I want to get a job in a computer vision company. So I did a internship as a machine learning engineer, and I was doing working on computer vision models, and I also did research on it when I was in my undergrad. So a lot of the bullet points I had were very specific to that for computer vision, and I didn't include any of my full stack projects. I just had a bunch of computer vision projects. So
I
I had
see.
a specific one for that. Then I was also doing some quant. I was trying to apply for quant roles as well. So that I tailored a bit more too for quant. So yeah, I had some projects where I was doing like I took like some big data courses and we were like trying to predict stocks and using like MapReduce and stuff to parse stock data. So I included everything related stock market related projects on that. So I had three variants and I would send each one to the company to help me
I see.
get a
So you.
better one, better result.
Uh-huh. So what you would do is you would like you'd have like different versions of your resume, and based on like what type of engineer the company was looking for, you'd send them a different version that was just like
Exactly.
more.
So
Uh-huh.
pretend I'm applying for a Node.js role, like a backend role, right? And then I don't even include any projects that involve me creating a backend. Don't never even mention the word Node.js or backend once. And then somebody else
Hmm.
puts it in, and they're like, okay, they built a simple to-do list backend, played around with Next.js, built a backend in Go. Like those are their three projects. Like who are they gonna take, right?
Right.
They're gonna take the guy that already has some experience. I mean, they might interview both of you if they have enough time, but they have 1,000 applicants. 500, like 50 of them, have already worked with Node.js, and maybe they have like a 3.8 GPA. Like, okay, let's go with that guy.
Yeah. I understand.
So
The thing is,
go ahead.
oh, sorry. What were you saying?
Yeah, like basically with the quant stuff, like if I'm hiring for a quant and the dude submits something and it's just a bunch of full stack projects, like and then another guy submits it and he's doing like actual quant related projects talks about like some competitive program he's joined, talks about some math competitions. I'm not just gonna go with the full stack guy because I don't know if he's gonna be able to ramp up to my quant role versus the person already doing comp sci, like has some super hard technical projects, done competitions. That person seems a bit more employable for my position that I'm. So yeah, and like vice versa. Pretend the quant guy sends that to a full stack role. Like, yeah, you're smart at quant. You're smart at doing math competitions, but that doesn't really translate into being a good full stack engineer. And like that for sure. Like I already know that because I've seen that before of people really crack that math, but it's the different skill set.
Uh huh.
So yeah, that's why it's important to tailor, but you don't need to tailor it so hard for everybody you're applying to. Just have three different variants of the companies you want to apply for, and just kind of shoot there.
Okay. Um. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. But okay, wait, never mind. Yeah. So I guess I know or I have knowledge about data structures and algorithms and how to implement them, and I was considering starting Leet Code. Is there like a ordering like in which problems I should tackle? Because I know there's also, ways to solve it. Like there's different like there's like the sliding window algorithm, like or not like an algorithm, but like a way to like generally solve problems. And there's like things like that, but they're not necessarily algorithms, right? So I'm just confused. Like, should I try and learn all these things first and then go into Leet Code, or should I try to like solve some of the problems and if I fail, then try and learn it?
I would do okay. I have a series on this. I'm gonna
Oh, you do?
plug this in. Yeah, definitely. What social developer is saying is learn as you go. Very important. But let's see, I have a playlist here. Let me just get you the playlist.
Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome. So I have this playlist right here. I'm gonna send you this playlist. But I talk about how to get good at lead code. And I talk about
Okay.
pretend you have the summer to learn, right?
I do, yeah.
So how long is your summer? About 3 months.
Yeah, about 3 months.
So what I would do is I would spend probably the first month learning data structures. What does that
Like,
mean? Oh yeah, go ahead.
well, yeah, because I've already taken like data structures and algorithms course, so like I already know like what a stack is and like what a heap is and like what a BST is, as well as like other algorithms like Dijkstra's and like prims and
Oh, you
stuff like
already know
that. I already
those?
know. Like, yeah, because I took them this year in high school.
Okay. Let's see. What I would do is are you okay, go on zero track here. You see are you on my stream?
Yeah, I'm watching right now.
If you're already good, like do sort by rating here. Rating
Okay.
is essentially your elo. So try doing
Uh-huh.
questions at the smallest elo and then just keep going upwards, right?
Okay.
But that's and see what your elo is. That's one way.
Oh, I see.
Or yeah, yo, we could even do code. We can even do a coding interview, and then we'll see where you are.
Like right
Um,
now or probably later, right?
yeah, we can do a different one because we only have 15 more minutes here.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
what we can do is okay, because my thing was learn data structures first. Can you implement a linked list from scratch?
Yeah.
You can implement linked list from scratch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Okay. Actually, just do Neat Code 150. Have you heard of this Neat Code 150 list?
I've heard of it, but I haven't tried it.
Yeah. Okay. Try to go through the Neat Code 150 list. It's a really good
Like
list.
in order.
Um, I would shuffle it. Choose random
Okay.
problem, and then like click into choose random problems and start with the easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Like go like this. Okay, wait. Let
Getting
me
a little
take that list.
lucky
Yeah,
with your
this will get you
voices.
right. Oh wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Because what I would do is that I would just actually because you know the basics, I would start learning the algorithms like did you see my series on like coding patterns like two pointers, sliding windows, depth first search, backtracking?
Yeah, I think I watched a little bit. It's like there are like patterns that show up in like all the leak code problems, and if you learn them like well enough, you can pretty much solve any of them, right?
Exactly, exactly. So what I would do is, have you another resource is called Grokking the Coding Interview. That's a really good one. It shows you all the different patterns, and it shows you.
Mhm.
It's called Grokking. It shows you all the different coding patterns, and it shows you like 5 or 6 lead code questions for those coding patterns. So what you could do is try to work through those. But I would say, since you already know, try to get 100 questions done by the end of the summer, around there. I think once you get to around 300, you can pass any fan company. 3 or 400 questions done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty
So just like
deterministic.
yeah, I mean, I feel like I've seen like a lot of coding interviews where people can solve like problems in like 20 minutes or so, like even if they're explaining out their algorithm to like, the interviewer. But like, is it common like if problems take me like over an hour to solve it? And like, I feel like at what point like should I like just give up and try and like find
Yeah.
that or just like get the answer?
Okay, when you're first, this is your first lead code grind. This is the summer. Like, don't
Yep.
even focus on. Yeah, probably spend an hour max on it, but like, time yourself for like an hour. But if you can't solve it, maybe think about it a bit more. I'm trying to think, because like, there's trade offs here, right? You could because I know when I first started, I just didn't even look at the solution until I figured it out, even if I figured it out a couple of days after. But I didn't
Oh,
have
really?
any interviews coming up. So it's different if you have an interview coming up. Because I think what people, well, there's an extreme here when you just look at the solutions too early, and then
Yeah.
there's people who don't look at the solutions enough, and you want to kind of balance it, right? You don't want to look at it too early because then you'll never learn, but then you don't want to spend a week on one question, and it's a small trick that you'll never be able to find because you want to practice breadth over depth.
Hmm.
So I'd say, I think an hour is good for easy questions. When you first start
Okay.
doing mediums, 2 hours. And like, if you can't solve it for the first 45 minutes, take a break, then look at it again and try to figure
All
out
right.
different solutions. And if you can't figure it out, right? If you can't
Hmm.
figure out no matter what, just try to think about, just write down your approach. And then when you read the solution, you should have like a aha moment. You're like, oh, that's why I didn't even think about it in that way. I didn't even
Right.
go that direction. So keep track of all the directions that you tried, kind of thing.
Okay. And when you're finding the solutions, like there's like the solutions tab in LeetCode, right? So should I just look at that, or is there like a
Now, straight buy premium, bro. It's like definitely worth it if you have the money.
really? Wait, how much is it?
Probably like 30 a month. It's
Oh,
kind of
that's
expensive,
fine.
but like, it's definitely
That's
worth
fine.
it. But I think, just message me too if you get stuck on anything. I have videos on a bunch of different topics in our Discord. Like, if you don't want to buy it, also, yeah,
Hmm.
you, like, everyone on Discord is pretty helpful, like sending in solutions. Or you could just look at the solutions tab, and look at the community generated. But I feel
Uh-huh.
like the premium generated ones are really good.
Okay. All right. I had
Yeah, what's your
another
other question?
question. Oh, sorry, what?
Yeah, what's your other question?
Um, my CS teacher, he went to UPenn and then he worked at Microsoft and he talked about how like he wrote like a lot of or like he learned a lot of coding languages and like put them on his resume. Like, do you think that's necessary, like depending on like which company you're applying to?
Learning a bunch of different coding language. I don't
Or
know.
like,
I feel like it's not the best strat. I
uh-huh,
feel like you should learn one coding language all the way deep
right.
and understand. For example, Python. Python could get so deep. First, the
Hmm.
the first level is simple variables, loops, and stuff like
Right.
that. Then you could start thinking about, um, okay, Python object oriented, and learn how to do Python in object oriented fashion. Go
Yeah.
deep on that. Okay, then look up Python in functional patterns, right? How to
Hmm.
write Python functionally. Now you kind of know object oriented and functional ways of doing
Right.
Python. Then look into the other stuff like the meta programming of Python, right? Like, in like reflection and all that.
Yeah.
They're like these are the other abstractions on top of Python to help you write code. Like reflection and stuff is different. You just learn focus on concepts versus programming language. If you learn functional programming in Python, you'll easily be able to move into another functional programming because they have similar concepts. But the other programming language might enforce some of the concepts a bit more, but the concepts are still there. If you learn reflection, reflection is in Java and in Python. So I would
I see.
say just go hard on one language and learn everything about it end to end. Like even Python is it's interpreted, right? So
Uh-huh.
understanding how that works too, like
Yeah.
just go deep into Python and just understand everything about it, because once you know a language really deep, you could start contrasting it to other languages. You could be like, okay, C++
Yeah.
doesn't really have reflection. Like, why is that the case? And like, what are the differences? But it helps you like know what the options are. Like, I think it's good because like pretend I learned Java, then I learned Python, then I learned Ruby, and I just learned it the basics of just variables. That I'm not gonna learn too much about it, right? Like
Right.
I'll just know surface level, but then I jump into a code base and it's completely functional. Then I
Yeah.
won't know anything how to navigate it. But yeah, that's kind of my
Uh-huh.
advice there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I understand. As for like learning Python, like are there like books I should read or like just like watch like a YouTube video? Because I know there's like videos that are like 10 hours long and it like gives you like the whole rundown of like an entire coding language. I just
Yeah,
don't know if I should watch the whole thing.
you're into textbooks, right? You're not. You're more into
Yeah, yeah,
textbooks than
very
reading.
textbooks.
Yeah, honestly, I prefer reading the textbooks as well,
Uh-huh.
and so that's good because I think it'll walk you through it really nicely. So I would let's see. Yo, what I've never had to do I learned Python straight by just doing, not actually a textbook.
Hmm.
So I can find resources, but just take a Python textbook and read it from end to end. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure at first it's gonna start with the advanced or sorry the beginner concepts like loops and like syntax. Then it's gonna get
Uh-huh.
into the more advanced stuff like object oriented, functional, and then it's gonna
Right.
go into like the meta programming stuff. But I think yeah, that's what I'd do. Just take a textbook, read it front to back. You have a it's
Uh-huh.
gonna be a good summer, man. Like if you lock in this summer, school's gonna be really easy for you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so ready. I'm like really motivated.
Yeah. No, you're already
Yeah,
like way ahead of most.
yeah, no, definitely. I'm just I just like want to get more ahead. Like I just want to like make sure like as for like if I do choose to go into quant, like I feel like since I'm not going at a target, going to like a target university, I feel like I'm at a little disadvantage. So I just
Hmm.
want to make sure I'm like, able to keep up like as far as like learning and stuff like that, like I want to be able to answer the questions they ask.
Yeah. Yeah, and like what the social developer said, the fundamentals translate across most languages, right? So if you just learn for loops, if you learn what a loop is and why it's needed, that translates to every single language. Versus just like if you just think about it in just terms of like syntax.
Hmm.
So same with everything. Like object oriented principles, they're different in Java and Python, but only slightly. And it's fundamentals that you need to understand. You need to understand inheritance. Some languages might have multiple inheritance. Some might have single inheritance. But if you don't understand
Yeah.
inheritance pattern at all, the fundamentals of that, you don't understand
I mean,
encapsulation. Even encapsulation works a lot different than Python and Java that you need to watch out for. But yeah, does that make sense?
yeah, I understand.
You got any more questions? We got like 5 more minutes.
Um, I'm trying to think. Do you think it's good like if I try and learn C++ plus plus at the same time? Because I feel like a lot of quant companies look for like people who can like code in C++. plus plus. I just don't know if I should like because like I don't know if it's like too much to try and find like some sort of interview that's like something related to quant over the like my first year at college, like in the next year. I guess like I don't know, would I have enough time to learn both Python and C++ plus plus very well, like, before I start applying to jobs or internships, I mean?
Let's see. If you're, does he want to do QD or QT? What's Q? Like quant dev or quantitative analysis?
Yeah, I was thinking of doing quant research or quant dev,
Paul, what do you mean by QD or QT? Can you explain that quick?
quant trader or quant developer.
Okay. You're thinking of, which one are you thinking of doing?
I was thinking of doing either quant developer or quant researcher, which is quant researcher is like a lot of math and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the one that requires like a lot of knowledge of proper like or probability and like
Yeah. That's
statistics.
gonna require advanced, probably, what Paul said.
You can't do it without a PhD. Okay.
I don't know. I think you might be able to. Uh, Most of the people I know who are in quant, even though they're like cracked at LeetCode and then competitive, they're
Hmm.
actually quantitative. They're like basically engineers in quant. Some do like the analysis and stuff, like are
Right.
actually quant. But I don't know the difference between the terms, honestly. I don't know if I
Yeah.
can help you too much with the quant stuff. But
Okay.
like, go follow Coding Jesus. He does a lot of that.
Yeah, no, I see him. Like I saw in some of his like interviews, like he always asks questions like about like C++ plus plus itself. So that's sort of what I was asking.
Yeah, yeah. I think you
Is
can
that
learn.
like
I wouldn't if you want to get into that, just learn C plus plus this summer. Don't learn Python and just code all your like practice leak code in C plus plus. Don't do
okay.
Python. You don't want to spread yourself too thin. But the stuff you're gonna learn is gonna be very translatable to Python.
Okay. So I'll stick with C++ plus plus this summer though, and then I'll get really good and like after that maybe I'll see if I want to do Python or not.
Yeah, probably in your first year course they're gonna teach you Python and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool.
All right, yeah, that's all I had for today.
Sounds
Thanks
good,
so
man.
much
That was
for
really good convo. Good luck with all your
yeah,
stuff, and keep like messaging in the. I'm pretty sure
yeah, I'll
The
let you know.
Discord has been pretty helpful, right? With answering all your stuff. Just keep
Yeah,
asking there.
definitely. All right, yeah, thank you so
All
much. Have a
right,
nice
sounds good.
day.
You too. All right,
I'll
see ya.
probably stay in the stream for a
Sounds
bit.
good. All right, see ya.
All right, bye.